Are you a goal setter like me, or do you avoid them completely? Do you find that you like to set goals at the beginning of the year but never follow through and actually achieve them? Today I'm going to share with you 5 tips that I have for setting goals and achieving them, and I'm going to share with you some of my own goals for 2022. Okay, first and foremost, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. If you don't know me, I am Michelle Ferguson, the crochet pattern designer of Two Brothers Blankets. You can find me at twobrothersblankets.com and on Facebook and Instagram at Two Brothers Blankets. And right here every week for a new crochet related video. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and if you like what you see, please click the thumbs up button. And to be notified every time I put up a new video, please click the bell at the top of your screen. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday season. We are past all that now. We are looking into a new year in just a matter of days. I can't believe it's already 2022. Time is flying. It goes by so fast. I've been planning out my new year for a while now, probably at least a month, and I just love to set goals. I love to look back at my goals from the beginning of 2021 or going into 2021. I like to look back and see what I've achieved, what I didn't get accomplished, and what I need to work on. As a business owner and entrepreneur, I think that's part of it. Planning out the year, setting goals, trying to achieve new things in business is a big part of running a business, and so I think that helps me in all areas of life as well. But I just find goal setting very helpful and very productive in my business and in my life. So today I want to share with you some of my tips that I use to not only set goals that are achievable, but to actually achieve those goals. Call them a resolution, call them a goal, whatever you want. I like to call it goals over resolutions because most of them are like physically attainable. So rather than just I resolve to do this kind of thing. So let me go ahead and share those with you, and then I'm going to share with you some of my own business goals for 2022, where I want to see Two Brothers Blankets go in the new year and things that I want to achieve. So let's get started. First off, when you're setting goals, set goals that you know you can achieve, that are attainable, whether that be in a business or in your own personal life. They don't have to be these huge, big, ginormous goals. Set goals that you know you can do. So let's see, for example, I want to monetize my YouTube channel in the new year, in 2022. That's one of my goals. I know that I can do that by consistently putting out weekly videos. I know that that's something that I can achieve, and eventually that will add up to enough time to monetize my video, my channel. If it's like, say it's a weight loss goal, say you need to lose 50 pounds. Yes, that's a huge goal to achieve, but if you say I want to lose 3 pounds a month, that makes it so much more attainable. I don't know, just an example. So set your goals with the fact in mind, like that you can achieve them, not just some crazy, I wish I could do this and this is what I want to do. That seems so far out of reach. Set reachable goals a little bit at a time, and you're much more likely to achieve those goals. Now that said, I got this from a fellow designer friend. She sets a stretch goal. She calls it a stretch goal. And that is like, if I achieve all the other things and then go above and beyond. And I think that's a great idea too, to have that stretch goal of a certain income amount, or a certain number of patterns put out, or a certain number of sales, or a certain number of pounds lost, whatever you want that to be. Have like a stretch goal. Like, if I achieve what I want to achieve and then go above and beyond, what would that look like? I think that's really cool to have, because if you do reach it, how awesome is that, right? So to exceed your goal is just to be able to see that on paper, that I exceeded my goal and I actually reached my stretch goal. So write those down too. I feel like it is important to write them down. So I have a big old planner that I use for my business. It's just a 3-ring binder. It's right here. And I have paper that has like certain sections for goals and stuff like that. And then I have like a calendar that I write out, like when I want to publish my patterns and stuff like that. I always write them down, write down my goal or my goal deadline or whatever. I write it down, and then but I also write it in pencil. I am flexible with it. And that leads us into number 2, which is be flexible. Like I said, life happens, things change. 2021, I had all these goals set for the year. I had all these plans, was gonna do things, and then right off the bat in January, my life changed dramatically. So things did not go as planned at all, but I was flexible. I did what I could. I achieved what I could in the situation that we were in personally, and I changed things around that needed to be changed around. So be flexible with those goals. Remember, life happens, things happen. We should all know that by now. We should all have that in the back of our mind. 2020. You have to be flexible sometimes, and so it's important to write down those goals, but maybe write them in pencil, especially if you're like writing in the calendar or by a specific deadline or date or whatever. Be able to be flexible in that goal and in that year, I guess you could say. Okay, number 3, and I think this one is probably one of the most important ones, especially it has been for me, and I think it's a better way to achieve your goals, is to work on one goal at a time. Don't have 5 different goals that you're working on. So for example, a couple years ago, I wanted to get approved for a ad program for my blog, and you had to have so many views and sessions and page views or whatever. But I also wanted to optimize my Etsy shop and bring that back to life, because I had not been doing Etsy very much, and so I wasn't making sales. So those were 2 of my big goals for that year. I think it was 2019. I worked on my Etsy first. I got it optimized and got sales going for that, and then I worked on my blog and worked on getting the page views I needed and the sessions I needed to achieve that goal of getting on with that ad program. Had I been working on both, I feel like I would have been it would have been very scatterbrained, and it would have been a little bit here, a little bit there, and it would have taken me a lot longer to reach those goals. I was able to reach both of those goals in that year because I did it one at a time. So when you set your goals, works, but now some things you can't. Some things take time and don't need as much focus or whatnot. But especially in business, I think, or like if you're selling something or whatever, if you take each goal one at a time. So you set your goal, your first goal, and you work on that until you achieve it, because it should be attainable and it should be something that you can do in a certain amount of time. And then you move on to the next one. You're much more likely, in most cases, not always, to reach that goal, and maybe reach all of them if you're working on them, if you're focused solely on one thing at a time. I just find that to be easier and make the goals actually more attainable, because all my focus is on that one goal and what I want to achieve, and once I reach it, I can move on to the next one. Number 4, keep track of your progress. Write down so if you're in business, if you're doing what I do, designing patterns or selling your finished crochet or any sort of small business, keep track of your numbers each month. At the first of each month, I go through all my sales, all how much income I've made, how many views I got on my blog, how many new followers I got on Instagram, all that, email subscribers. I go through each one and I put it right down for the previous month, those numbers, and I can see how I've improved each month going forward, and what hasn't improved, or where I lost followers or lost page views, and I can see my progress or lack thereof and work on what I need to work on. It's really nice to be able to see your hard work pay off with more income, with more page views, with more YouTube watch hours, whatever you're trying to accomplish. It really is nice to see that progress, and helps you stay motivated, helps you to keep going and get closer to your goal. And number 5, reward yourself when you reach that goal. I don't know, give yourself some sort of, if you're in business and you want to reach a certain income goal, and then there's something you want for your business, new camera equipment, new yarn, whatever. Once you reach that goal, go get yourself that thing you wanted or whatever. Or reward yourself with a day off. I don't know, but do something to give yourself some sort of reward for your hard work, and just to give yourself a little pat on the back for all that you've done, and once you accomplish that goal. So those are my 5 tips. I don't know, some of them are pretty self-explanatory and well known, but they really do work for me. I don't reach every single one of my goals every single year, but I love to write them down and to work on them. And so right now, as I'm working on my goals for 2022, I'm looking back at 2021 goals because they're written down in a space in my notebook where I know that where they've been all year, that I can look at them all year, and I can see what worked and what didn't, and use that to set goals for the new year. So those are my tips for you. Let me know, do you set goals for the year? Do you have a big goal for 2022? Is there something new you want to learn? Do you want to get into the crochet business world? Or are you already in it and want to make more money or have more designs put out or whatever? Let me know. I'd love to know in the comments. As far as my goals for 2022, I shared one already. I want to monetize this channel. I started out with the podcast in the beginning of 21, thinking that I was going to reach that goal. I did not. Then I had to pivot a little bit because life got really crazy and homeschooling was taking a lot of my time, so I had to pivot, and I actually think that pivot was exactly what I needed. Now I'm doing weekly videos, not necessarily long podcast episodes, but weekly videos with intentional topics that are helpful to you and easier for me to film and do all that. And I think that was a really good decision. So I'm going to continue with that into the new year and have weekly videos with a set topic. I've actually got a certain schedule for the topics of the videos with each one per month figured out. And I'm going to do some tutorials. I'm going to take some of my older free patterns that are up on my blog and make tutorials for those, so they'll be on YouTube as well. I'm going to be doing the How to Crochet a Sweater series. That first video will go up in January. I'm really excited about that. And yeah, I'm going to be doing lots of videos for the channel so that I can hopefully monetize in 2022. So the more you watch, the better my chances are. So thank you for watching. Another goal I have for 2022 is to do one new garment design, have one new garment pattern come out per quarter. I have planned out 6 garment designs for 2022. If they all happen, wonderful. If they don't, that's okay. But I have 6 planned out. So that's 2 more than what the actual goal is. If I get 1 per quarter done, I will be achieving my goal. Out to the world, I will be achieving my goal. So 4 will be wonderful. 6 would be even better, but we'll see. My third goal is I don't know if it's a goal or not, but it is a goal. To have less hard deadlines. So like I said, 2021 had all these plans, signed up for all these blog hops and things, events and all that, and then life happened. My life had drastically changed, and it was so stressful to deal with personal family things and try to meet these work deadlines that I had. It was just beyond stressful, and homeschool and do all the other things. So this year, or going into 2022, I have committed to not signing up for things that have hard deadlines that I have to get completed by a certain date. I have to turn in by a certain date. Thankfully, I don't have too many, like most of my partnerships and collaborations are not super hard deadlines, but there were a few that were, and it was just so stressful. So this year I am not going to commit to anything with a really hard deadline because I just can't. In this season of my life, I just can't do it. Maybe eventually when my kids are out of the house, or I'm done homeschooling them and things are settled down with personal life, maybe then I can commit more to something with a hard deadline like that. But right now in the season of life, I cannot commit to that, and I need to acknowledge that, and it will just make running my business so much less stressful. So that's a third goal of mine. I want to continue with my pattern updates. So I did a few I'm filming this at the end of 2021. So in 2021, I did a few, but I didn't get to as many as I wanted. So I want to continue that. The goal is to finish designing those 6 new patterns, garment patterns, within Q1. So Q1 is January, February, March. I would love to be able to get them done. Since I already have them planned out, get them crocheted and typed up, the patterns, by the end of Q1, so that the rest of the year I can be working on pattern updates, and if I think of anything new to put out, if I come up with any other ideas, I can work on that. I want to get new pictures. I have some that have yarns that are discontinued that I'd like to remake in non-discontinued yarns. And there's some that need sizing updates and just need to be written better because I was a new designer back then and I know so much more now. So I do want to continue getting as many patterns updated as I can, my older ones. And I'm going to use some of those to do my How to Crochet a Sweater series here on YouTube. So I'm kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Is that the saying? Hopefully, I can do that and kind of get them remade while on film, while explaining to you how to do them, and get new pictures and all that at the end. So that is another goal of mine. And lastly, I'd like to continue working on or doing commission designs, which is where I design for another company, another business. And they pay me to do that. I really like that. That was really a lifesaver for me in 21 because there was no hard deadline on it. I was free to design as I pleased, and I didn't have to do all the marketing for it and the progress pictures and everything for that. I just had to write the pattern and make the product. It was all behind the scenes, and then I sent it in and I was done. So it was really nice when things were just chaotic and crazy here in my personal life to have that income coming in, but have it be behind the scenes with no hard deadlines, and I could just work on it as I had time. So I would love to do that. It was very very fun to work with other businesses and to turn their ideas into a real life pattern. So it was great. And then I also would love to continue with my collaborations with certain yarn companies and other designers and stuff like that. Just no hard deadlines. But yeah, I want to continue doing that. It's always great for business and just fun and interesting to work with other designers and yarn companies and stuff like that. So I'm going to hopefully continue doing that. So those are my big business goals for 2022. Personal goals, I just want to continue to homeschool my children. I really want to get back, I would say, because it's Christmas, get back to healthy eating, eating clean, and I really kind of want to look into, learn more. I don't know much about just more like using more natural products, specifically makeup. I want to just, it's so crazy this year. I've learned so much about the products and the toxins that we consume and that we put on our body and everything, and I really like to take a more natural route. Side note, I follow a bunch of crochet people on Instagram, and then second to crochet, I follow homesteaders on Instagram. That is like my guilty pleasure. I love the idea of like being self-sufficient completely, and I love following homestead accounts on Instagram. So I've kind of learned a lot about like natural living and self-sufficiency, and I would love to look into that more in my personal life. So there you go. There's some personal goals too. Let me know in the comments what your personal goals are or your business goals, and I will be back again next week. Have a great week.